Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. One of the common things I am told is don't read the comments. Don't read the comments, Boogie. Sometimes I can't help myself. The comments is where the community is at. That's where we get to engage. That's where we get to talk about Tennessee football. Sometimes we agree. Sometimes we disagree. But sometimes you guys leave comments that drive me absolutely crazy. One of those came in yesterday, said, how long does Josh Heupel need to be at Tennessee before we actually have depth? Well, we do continue to talk about depth, and there is a reason why. If you would let me explain, I think it makes some sense. You know, we're 4 years into it, right? 4 years. Josh Heupel, this is his entire team. This is his body of work. This is not what Jeremy Pruitt did. This is what Josh Heupel has built. But if you want to talk about reality, you don't want to make excuses or you don't want to make up nonsense. If you want to talk about the truth, the reality is those first two recruiting cycles were tainted by the NCAA investigation. That's just the facts. That's the reality of the situation. Negative recruiting, questions from prospects, more importantly, questions from their families about postseason bans. You know, you go back and look at the blue chip ratio of those first two cycles, 31% in 2021, 23rd in that class in the country in recruiting. The next year, 15th, we bumped up a little bit, 43%. You guys, I'm going to talk about this blue chip ratio to the end of my life. I have to keep bringing it up because it's showing that Josh Heupel is trending in the right direction. It's not going to happen overnight. Not only that, your roster was depleted. The max exodus to the portal. How long did I talk about the fact that we had a long snapper taking reps at linebacker during spring camp? That's because this roster was depleted. But the facts, the reality, the truth is that Josh Heupel continues to trend in the right direction. Again, the blue chip ratio continues to go up from 31% in 2021. That class of 25, last year, that class of 25, 62% blue chip ratio. And I think we've got an opportunity in the class of 26. And I think we've got a little momentum. Spring break is over. Practice is back underway. We got the orange and white game coming up on Saturday. I think we've got some momentum. And I'm going to take a look at a couple of guys here in just a second. Rant over. But before I do that, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up down there below the video. Quick, free, easy. It helps the channel if it's your first time here. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We are exactly what you guys are, and we can agree, we can disagree, and we can agree to disagree and talk about it in the comment section. For the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or drop a video. Live tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be talking about the orange and white game coming up on Saturday. We will also be there hanging out G10 parking garage early on Saturday morning. Come hang out. Coach Jay will be in town. The X Factor will be in town as well. So come join us. Going to be a good time. But let's talk some recruiting again. Rant is over. I want to start with Xavier Griffin. This came out on Twitter. Elite USC linebacker Xavier Griffin recaps his latest visit to Tennessee with Matt Ray of VolQuest.com. The quote, definitely feel like a priority. Actions speak louder than words, and they are showing it. That is a very interesting comment. Actions speak louder than words. So you look at Xavier Griffin, 24th best player in the country overall. You can go to 247 Sports. 247 Sports actually has him ranked as the best linebacker in the country, 8th best prospect, with the industry rankings a little bit different. But again, elite player. You go to all the experts. You go to the X's and O's guys, and they talk about Xavier Griffin and what a dog he is, what a game changer he is. Committed to USC back on July the 27th. Some of the teams in the mix here that are still pushing: Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Texas, Ohio State, and the Vols are still in it as well. Let's talk about a scouting report. Andrew Ivins over at 247 Sports says multifaceted defender with top flight testing profile that should offer both on and off ball linebackers. He can rush the passer and stack against the run while also dropping back into coverage. Lanky and lean at this stage, but should undergo a major physical transformation in the college coming years as he's younger side for the grade and equipped with larger features. Fires out of both 2 and 3-point stances in the blink of an eye and will get around obstacles with his slick agility and lateral quickness. Possess true sideline-to-sideline range and will make stops in pursuit with his gap-closing burst. Must keep evolving and developing craft while improving play strength, but projects as a potential impact player in the Big Ten or SEC that can fit into a variety of different schemes with his athletic juice and alignment flex. Again, that's the scouting report from Andrew Obbins over at 247 Sports. Now, Xavier Griffin, he was actually just here. He visited last year a couple of times too. He was here for the spring practice, also took in the win over Kentucky, but he was here back on March the 29th. And going into that visit, this is what Matt Ray put out as far as his recruitment. Says, I think football fit has always lined up with him at Tennessee, but I think it lines up with him in a lot of different places. The more I continue to check around and talk to people that are in the know with his recruitment, he's very open to the fact that he's not concerned over distance. He's not concerned about leaving Gainesville, going out to the West Coast. Says Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, all these other programs are going to continue vying to get him in the Southeast, but there's work to do there. I think it can be said for all these programs, and I think it can be said for Tennessee as well. Now, all indication coming out of that visit on the 29th are that the Vols are definitely in it. This is what he said coming off that trip. I was able to see the coaches firsthand in some new roles. They can coach up their guys just as hard as they love them. The academic portion stood out big time for my mom. She really loved the system they have set up to ensure I have push as well off the field. Coach Chop, Coach Banks gave me a transparent overview how I could come in and make an immediate impact for the Vols, especially if I continue to work hard and do the right things. Says Coach Chop, Coach Banks, Coach Heibel all made sure I understand where I fit in and how important I am in their recruiting process. They will fight to the end was their clear message. They continue to be consistent and transparent. Love being able to see my teammate, Jeremiah T-Lander, as well. So how much does that relationship, kind of sway Xavier Griffin here, as well as, his parents, the academics? There's more to it. Some people want to yell and say, Boogie, it's all about money. The only thing that matters is money. Yeah, money matters. Money is part of it, but money is not everything. It's not everything. The money is there everywhere. Every one of these programs is going to offer money to Xavier Griffin. So is there something else that tips the scales? And again, he's a priority. So much so I saw in that text thread or on Twitter, the thread, Carl tagging me in on it. Coach Jay jumped in. Coach Jay said Xavier Griffin is his priority number one in this class of 2026. Want to go take a look at another elite prospect that just dropped his top four. You can see the tweet from Hayes Fawcett. 4-star edge Tristan Givens is down to 4 schools, he tells On3 Recruits. The 6'4", 215-pound edge from Columbus, Georgia is ranked as a top 70 recruit in the class of 2026. Now you see the top 4 there: Tennessee, Texas A&M, USC, and also Florida State. Seems to be more Tennessee, Florida State kind of at the top here. Here's a quote from Givens himself to On3. He said, I talked to Coach Heupel a lot. I know he and the staff have me as one of their top guys. They're recruiting me really hard. Him and Coach Chop talk to me a lot. They show me I am a top guy for them, and that is nice. They're some of the top schools on my list. I like how they recruit me and how people stand out at Tennessee. It's nice when I'm up there, and I will be back soon. Now, he was just here recently. Took a couple of visits to Tennessee last year as well. The spring practice, also came in town for the Kentucky game, but he was also just here that same weekend as Xavier Griffin to take in a spring practice. After that visit, here's what Matt Ray had to say. He said Tristan Givens just checked out. The Vols remain a serious player here. Tennessee and Florida State are 2 schools recruiting him the hardest at this point, in my opinion. His family had a good visit with him this time. His bond with Coach Chop is evident, and the way the Vols use their Leos continue to stand out to him. He's going to visit FSU next weekend, and then he will be off the road for a few minutes before his official visits. He returns to Knoxville on June the 13th. Now, I thought at one point I had seen that he had an official schedule to Texas A&M. Don't see that on the schedule as of now, but as Matt Ray said, it is confirmed he will be in Knoxville officially on June the 13th, but obviously you would expect him to take an official to Texas A&M, to USC, and also to Florida State. Chad Simmons posted over at On3 and said, Tennessee doing a great job. Sounds like Tennessee and Texas A&M are battling at the top, but FSU is one to watch. He'll take some visits, but Tennessee is in a good position. So again, just a couple of elite guys. Xavier Griffin, 24th best player in the country, according to the On3 industry rankings. Tristan Givens, 70th best player in the country, according to the On3 industry rankings. So don't talk to me about depth. Let's lay the story out there, and let's talk about the truth, and let's talk about why we are where we are when it comes to depth. But we are continuing to trend to the right direction. Contrary to what some people believe, it doesn't happen overnight. You don't build a powerhouse program. You don't win a national championship overnight. When Josh Heupel was hired, we're on this channel talking about 6, 7, 8-year rebuilds, and now here we are the last 3 years averaging 10 wins and complaining about depth. Had to jump on, make a little bit of a video, a little bit of a rant, but also talking about some momentum in recruiting. What are your thoughts? Jump down in the comment section below. Smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. If you want to support what we do, go grab some merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also support the channel by hitting that join button down below. It's just $1. $1 a month. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows. We're going to be doing some members-only streams where only the members of the channel see the link and get to come on and enjoy the show. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.